I've seen a lot of people compare 2025 Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to 2007 Kobe. And so I wanted to talk 2025 Shai, 2007 Kobe, both their MVP seasons. Who did you think had the better season?
Oh, you can start because we're on opposite sides. So you go ahead.
Okay. I want to preface this by saying I was 9 years old.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
I
We ain't doing that.
want to preface this by saying I was 9 years old when Kobe had his MVP season. So
that's fine. So was I.
I was not watching basketball in the same way that I'm watching it at 26. I just want to make that clear. So when I say what I'm saying, that's not to be blasphemous. Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. He is currently right up there on my wall. I will eventually have some sort of tat that is related to him. I want to make that clear. He's my GOAT. But I find it very difficult to make a case that he had a better MVP season than Shai, other than I think he carried a far worse team to the finals. Other than that, I don't really see many ways that Shai doesn't win. And this is not me saying that Shai is a better player peak for peak than Kobe. I think Shai is not even close to touching Kobe Bryant as a player. I think Shai has not peaked at the level of defense that Kobe has amassed. I think he is one of the best two-way players ever, one of the top 4 two-way guards ever. In this MVP season he was also all defensive first team, and then he rattled off 4 straight more all defensive first teams. So like Kobe as a defender, I don't think Shai's touching that. But outside of that, I do think this was a better season. Shai leads in points, he leads in assists, he leads in blocks, he leads in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, effective field goal percentage. If you want to go like totals and say Shai's a free throw merchant, Shai took almost 100 less free throws than Kobe in 6 less games. So you know, if at most they would have been the same. And if you want to talk advanced stats, Shai did have a higher usage percentage, but he also did have a higher offensive win shares, total win shares, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus. Like, he just had a better season than Kobe, and that's okay. I think that's okay to say. That doesn't mean that he's a better player, but season for season, I think it's hard to tell me that Kobe Bryant had a better MVP season than 32.7 point per game scoring leader, all NBA first team, Western Conference Finals MVP, possible Finals MVP.
If you don't throw that Western Conference Finals MVP out the window, my man, that just became an award 3 years ago. We do not count those.
Okay, so that is my case.
Yeah.
Where do you stand? Where do you stand?
All right, man. Listen. I am of the belief that the hardest, or maybe the most even-killed era of basketball is the late 2000s. So like 2005 to let's just say 2005 to 2010. And in this era, the West was notoriously known as the better conference by far. How good was the West, you ask? Oh man. In 2007-2008 season, the Lakers were the number 1 seed, but I have to remind you, the Lakers did not have Pau Gasol halfway through the season. They traded for Pau Gasol. They had Kwame Brown, and I don't even remember who else was in that trade for half the year. So Kobe's playing with Kwame Brown and Lamar Odom. No disrespect to Lamar Odom, but like I don't remember who else was on that team before they made that trade. And Pau Gasol comes in midway through the season and honestly changes the whole trajectory of their season. But at the same time, so like I was saying, the West is very difficult. The Lakers were the number 1 seed with 57 wins. The 8th seed, Denver Nuggets, had 50 wins. That is insane. That is how difficult the Western Conference was that year specifically. Like I'm going down, 2 seed had 56, 3 seed 56, 4 seed 54, 5-6, 55. I don't know how that works. I think there was a back then divisional records meant more than your actual record, so you got priority, and I think they changed that later down the line. But if I'm the 48 win Golden State Warriors and I was the 9 seed, and then I look at the East and the Atlanta Hawks with 37 wins made the playoffs, I'm going nuts. Anyway, let's see. Kobe in 2007, 2008. Jesus, why did it? Okay, so my page is not loading. That's fantastic.
You were cooking.
Give me like 2 seconds. I was cooking. Averaged 28 points on. Now Kobe's not an efficiency darling, so 46% from the field, 36% from three, which for Kobe, and on the back end of his prime, like towards the end of his peak, I would say, he was shooting a very respectable percentage from three. In an MVP season where you're also obviously first team All NBA, first team All Defensive, most guys can't say that. And I think to do it in a West that I feel was way more competitive and way more difficult than what I've just seen the Thunder go through. Like they smoked the Memphis Grizzlies. Like they were the clear best team in the NBA. Like that season, I feel like everybody thought it was the Boston Celtics, which it probably was because they smoked the Lakers in the finals. They played the Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson Nuggets in the first round. And then I may be wrong about this, but I believe they played the Houston Rockets in the second round. So like, and then they end up playing, I don't know, I always get these mixed up. But anyway, you're in all 3 rounds of the playoffs. You play 50-win teams. Like that is absurd. If anyone else did this, we would be sitting here like, oh my God, it's the greatest run of NBA history. Oh my goodness. So like and when you line them up side by side, Shai's numbers are going to look better because he plays in a more offensive heavy era and his playing style is a little bit different as to where Kobe was known for taking insane shots, low quality shots. But at the end of the day, for this being his first MVP season at the age of 29, playing all 82 games, respectable efficiency, number 1 seed, all defensive player, all-star, all NBA first team. Like I can't listen, bro. I can't. And he technically did it with 2 different teams because that team that they were in the finals with was not the team they began the season with.
And I get that. I think my combat there would be this West is also pretty loaded. The 8 seed Grizzlies had 48 wins. And Shai did it in his age 26 season. And I was looking at who Shai, when you think at like who Shai had to be better than to win MVP this year, Shai had to be better than Nikola Jokic. Like the top 3 in MVP voting were Shai, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The top 3 in MVP voting in 2007, 2008 were Kobe, Chris Paul, Kevin Garnett. I think we would both say Jokic and Giannis are both better career players than Chris Paul and KG. So like for Shai to win the MVP, come on now, don't do that. Don't do that.
But KG is in like the conversation for
I think you can make it a KG case.
And Jokic, like even though he has an MVP, he has an MVP, he has a chip, he has a defensive player of the year. Like KG is one of the best 2-way players of all time.
Jokic got
granted
he got a back-to-back 3 MVPs.
I get you, but I'm telling you that this, like being a 2-way player holds more weight than like you just being a offensive juggernaut, which sometimes you can get away with, which Jokic is. But I'm saying like him, I'm saying more so KG and Giannis.
Yeah, I think KG Giannis is definitely a conversation. Like I think Giannis Dirk is a conversation. Like I think all 3 of them are a conversation.
Yeah.
but I just think like the players Shai had to be better than to win this MVP is a little bit more impressive. And
I mean, Kobe also had to be better than LeBron James.
That's true. He was 4th in MVP voting. See, I
had to be better.
Didn't put that one in there.
Unfortunately for Kobe, D-Wade was hurt that year, so he didn't have to go against D-Wade. But Carmelo Anthony had to be better than Carmelo Anthony. Had to be better than Dwight Howard. These are all guys that are all top 75 players of all time.
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers, exactly. Shout out Melo. And Dwight Howard, who just made it. Like it could go either way to me. I feel like if Kobe played today, his numbers might look a little similar. Like his field goal percentage might be a little lower, but I think him averaging, if you told me Kobe averaged 33 in a season in the age 28, 29, I'd be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I always think it is tough comparing eras. I think that's where you, because like the style of basketball played is just so different.
Yeah,
the pace is different. The shots people are taking is different. The coaching is different. The defenses are different. It's just so the foul, like it's just so different.
I think it was harder to score in the era than in Kobe's era than it is to score right now.
Yeah, I think that's
so.
Fair.
That's part of the reason why I give him the edge, because like 27 or 28 points per game back then was like top 3 in the league. So,
damn,
like you scored 30, you averaged 30. I know you're sick.
I hate being on the outside of a Kobe gas session. but
I didn't think you were picking Shai. I thought I was gonna have to pivot to pick Shai.
Out of nowhere, I've just become a Shai guy because I hate the free throw discourse. Like I want him to win at this point. Yeah, like I want him to win at this point.
It's gotten so bad that like during Thunder games, Doris Burger's like, this is why they call him the free throw merchant. But I think she's doing it as like as a sign of endearment, kind of sort of. Like she's not saying like, oh, he's like getting bailed out. She's like, he's just great at drawing fouls. But everybody on Twitter is like,
is kind of dog shit. I'm not gonna lie. Other than Mike Breen, bro. Yeah. Other than Mike Breen,
I don't feel like Mike Breen's harder than it, bro. Ever since they fired Mark Jackson and
I just like Van Gundy. That's really it. That's the only thing I'm listening for. You can watch that
Mike
shit
Breen
on
gonna
mute.
retire soon.
Yeah. You can watch that shit on mute as far as I'm concerned and be cool.